Okay, good morning. CEO of Groof here. We're going to try something new moving forward. It's to turn our blog series of recent recaps in the industry into a video version as well, like you're seeing here. This will be our first installment. I'll be taking you through one of our most recent recaps, just a few videos and a few articles from that most recent recap, and the top insights that I pulled from each one. And I'll also include some of their photos and links to the resources as well in this video. So the first video is by Gardening Dream. It's a very short, informative video. It's a narration. Very typical stuff that I'm used to seeing. All the major selling points for green roofs, like air filtering, heat island effect, um, improvement, habitat for wildlife, that sort of thing. Two things I really liked that this video had said was that green roofs and green walls are like nature's little soldiers. And the other point I liked was in order to get started, start by exploring the potential of your own spaces, even if it's in your house, a wall, or the roof. It's a great place to start. Second video is, um, by the way, that was published just a month ago. Second video was also published last month, and it actually highlights a green wall living billboard in Hyderabad, Pakistan, that was commissioned by the government there. So take a look at that. This next video actually highlights another government commissioned project, this time in Athens, Greece, and it was a green wall. And the poster is not too happy with the wall. If you look at the wall, it's died down, so it hasn't been watering itself or maintained enough. And it's a good video just to watch to see maybe the downsides of green roofs and green walls. Moving on to articles, this first article is by designscene.net about green walls mainly. A few points that I liked that they had made were to make sure your room has enough natural light in it for the green wall. Another thing would be to add a humidifier in the room if necessary. Um, and it also recommends using PVC gutter pipes and cutting them in order to set this installation up in your house. Of course, if you're looking for a more professional installation, you'll want to use wire and metal, that sort of thing. But yeah, this one has a water drip system that helps with manual watering, uh, makes it easily accessible. A, Another article is by Homes and Gardens on irrigation systems, actually. So this one highlights a self-watering hack by having a water circulation pump involved, but it also has a few other tips like adding fairy lights or small art installations as well, not just greenery, to make it an overall better viewing experience. Um, all right, moving on. Victoria, coming from Victoria, BC, I believe. Yeah, these are politicians in this article calling for more bylaws and incentives like Toronto and other cities have. For Victoria, they don't want to make it mandatory just yet, though we found apparently that having it mandatory in terms of incentivizing it as well as making maintenance plans mandatory has really worked out in places like Iran and Shiraz, which we'll touch on in a second. This next article is actually about Grand Rapids, Michigan. So they're a very strong center in this industry. One of the major companies, Live Roofs, is based there also. And their business development manager, Donnie Burton, said that they've seen an increase in roofs this year being green, which is a good sign for sure. They also touch on the cost of a green roof being roughly 100K more than a regular roof, though rebates and that sort of thing will help offset that cost, not to mention savings in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Lastly, or not lastly, an article very similar to the one we just looked at from Victoria, but this time in Guelph. People in Guelph really want a green roof bylaw similar to Toronto. They see the benefits working there as well, as a lot of their developments that are under construction would fit the bylaw that's for Toronto. This article is about Shiraz Iran. In 2013, they made it mandatory, just like Toronto did. And they've been urbanizing a lot in the past 50 years, which has made the city there very gray and full of concrete and steel. And so they saw the need for this, and citizens there really love it. And since 2013, 90% of their green roofs are in excellent condition, and it has to do with them mandating the maintenance side of things. And this article provides a really detailed analysis of their policy and how they disperse the funds. Um, I think Toronto does it a bit better, in my opinion, in terms of making those rebates accessible quickly to the builder. Um, this article is an amazing one about the first green roof in Quebec. The architect behind that, her name is Ava, um, and she had recently called for more smarter legislation and policies around green roofs in Quebec. She really highlights the fact that um, the two most important areas to develop are roofs and underground. And a lot of buildings like malls, she thinks should be built underground because they don't require natural light. And this would give you like double the amount of usable green space in Quebec. The green roof that they're talking about here that she helped build 60 years ago, is a massive one. It's 17 stories up, and apparently it has trees on it, which is amazing. This last article mentions that vertical walls, green walls, save up to 20% of the energy that would normally be used in that same closed space. Very lastly, finally, I want to highlight this one vendor, Tornasol Siteworks. They began in 1993. I think they're also based in Canada and elsewhere, but they have really great green walls and a patented solution, I think called Green Screen, which, like I said earlier, uses wire and custom design. All right, that's it. Thanks. Last point here. I like to typically do my videos in one take, but I had to add this. The building I'm currently in is 483 Bay Street, and I think it was built by Northam Realty Advisors. They have a beautiful green wall in the lobby up there by Nedlaw, which is another Canadian company. On that, it says that this wall is acting as a biofilter, removing 90% of the toxins in the air, which is awesome. And by the way, this building was named Building of the Year with Toronto's Excellence Awards. So it's a great building. Okay, just quickly here, I had to stop by because it's close. City Hall has a green roof itself. I can't remember who put it up. I think it was like a joint effort. I'll double check. But it's accessible and it's really cool because it's wonderful, City Hall. A lot of places to sit and stuff. So I would definitely come check it out. You can see the winter just passed and it's still pretty good grass, and I can't tell exactly what else is there. I can't remember, but I think it's just anyways, it's here, so come check it out.